Hello there, and welcome to the show. And today I'm going to be talking about WWE NXT Deadline. This show took place on December 6th, live from the Boeing Center at Techport in San Antonio, Texas. Had an attendance of over 1,900 people. The concept behind the show was that John Cena selected the participants of the Iron Survivor Challenge matches. Let's talk about it. Our opening match was Ricky Saints versus Oba Femi for the NXT Championship. This match also had an added stipulation where the winner would face Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event on the night where John Cena was retiring in a champion versus champion match. And that added stipulation to me meant that this match could go either way. I could see either Oba or Ricky winning the match. Oba delivered a backbreaker, Ricky hit an armbar and old school. Oba hit a military press drop. The commentary during this match was insufferable. Vic Joseph and Booker T, in my opinion, have to be the worst commentary team in WWE right now. Ricky hit a spear for a 2 count. He locked in a guillotine. Ricky hit a weak suicide dive forearm. Ricky and Oba make it back into the ring by the 9 count. Oba avoided an enziguri. Oba hit a jumping chop. Ricky avoided a shoulder tackle and hit a tornado DDT on the steps. In the ring, Ricky hit another tornado DDT, got a 2 count. Rochambeau countered into the fall from Grace, 2 count. And the closing sequence, Oba Femi delivered a sit-out fall from Grace powerbomb for the win. Oba Femi is a 2-time NXT champion. Ricky Saints, his NXT championship reign ends at 70 days. And I thought this was a pretty good match. I actually enjoyed this match more than the one they had at No Mercy. I thought this was a solid match, and Oba Femi would go on to face Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event in what was a solid match up until the finish. The ending of that match, I was not a fan of it, but this was a solid match, and after the match, there was a show of respect between Ricky and Oba, and that was it. The Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. The winner of this match would become the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship, receiving a championship match on the first episode of NXT in 2026. Kelani Jordan and Kendall Gray, the Women's Evolve champions, started the match. The order of entry was Jordan Grace, Lola Vice, and Sol Ruka. I like the Iron Survivor concept, and this was a very good match. Gray hit a springboard stomp on Jordan. Jordan hit a Northern Lights suplex on Gray for 2. Gray hit a scoop slam on Jordan for a 3 count. Grace hit a Vader bomb on Gray for 2. Jordan rolled up Gray for a 3 count. Grace hit a clothesline on Gray as soon as she exited the penalty box. Jordan hit a dive on Grace. We get a Tower of Doom. Lola Vice hit a back fist on Kendall Gray midair for a 3 count. Gray rolled up Grace for a 3 count. Gray hit an inverted German suplex off the top rope on Jordan. Vice hit a running knee strike on Jordan. Grace kicked the door of the penalty box to knock out Kelani Jordan. Grace hit a package sit-out powerbomb on Gray for 2. Grace hit a Fisherman Buster on Vice for 2. Jordan hit a crossbody on Grace and then rolled through to get a 3 count. Jordan attacked Sol Ruka as she was making her entrance. Gray and Vice locked arm bars on Jordan Grace. Grace hit 3 moves of doom. Jordan stopped the 4th one, and then she mocked the crowd. Jordan hit a double Pele kick. Jordan hit a Spanish fly off the apron on Grace to the floor. Sol Ruka hit 2 soul snatchers on Kelani Jordan, and Lola Vice got 2 3 counts. Vice and Jordan are fighting inside the penalty box. Ruka hit a double missile dropkick on Gray and Grace. Grace and Vice locked in a submission on Gray. Gray hit Shades of Gray on Grace. Jordan then hit a frog splash on Gray, pinned Grace for a 3 count. Sol hit a dive, taking out Vice and Gray. Jordan hit a moonsault off the apron on Sol. Grace hit a blue thunder bomb on Jordan for a 3 count. Vice hit a spinning kick on Gray for a 3 count. Everyone is tied at 2. Sol hit a drop suplex on Grace on the apron. Soul snatcher off the steps on Vice. Jordan hit a 450 on Vice. Grace broke it up. Gray hit Shades of Gray off the top rope on Lola Vice for a 3 count with 2 seconds left on the timer. Kendall Gray wins the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge for 2025 and is the #1 contender for the NXT Championship, and I thought this was a very good match. After the match, Jordan Grace and Kelani Jordan are brawling on the ramp. Fatal Influence comes out. They have a stare down with Kendall Gray and that was it. I thought this was a very good match. This was one of the two best matches of the night, in my opinion. And I did not know who Kendall Gray was before this match, but she was the MVP of this match, in my opinion. Ethan Page versus Mr. Iguana for the NXT North American Championship. Page knocked down Iguana with a shoulder tackle. Iguana played dead for a while. Iguana hit a pop-up arm drag. The crowd was chanting for Iguana. Page hit a DDT. Iguana attacked Page with his Iguana puppet. Iguana hit a crossbody on Page. Iguana missed a dive. Page threw him into the steps. Iguana hit a springboard headbutt. Page hit a power slam. Page hit a big boot. Page threw the puppet out of the ring. Iguana hit a DDT. Ego's Edge countered into a Hurricane Rana. Iguana hit a Hurricane Rana over the top rope. Iguana hit a diving headbutt off the top for a 2 count. And the closing sequence, Ethan Page hit the Twisted Grin for the win. Ethan Page retains the NXT North American Championship. To me, this was easily the worst match of the night. I wasn't really impressed with this match. This match had some cool spots, but this was easily the weakest match of the night. Izzy Dame versus Tatum Paxley. There was a very good promo package for this match highlighting the story and the history between these two. Izzy Dame cost Tatum Paxley the NXT Women's Championship. She was kicked out of the culling. She was doing these open challenges as a face while being part of a heel stable, so this was inevitable that she was gonna get kicked out. Tatum Paxley actually has the shortest NXT Women's Championship reign in company history. I thought the story going into this match was very good. Shawn Spears and Nico Vance were in Izzy Dame's corner. There were some mind games by the culling to start the match, and there was some great storytelling in this match, especially by the reactions of Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame. Tatum Paxley in particular, her ability to cry on command and emote was incredible. Great storytelling by Tatum Paxley during this match. Paxley hit a spinning kick. Dame was begging for mercy on the outside. Paxley was feeling sorry, and then Dame took control and threw her into the steps. Once again, great storytelling. Dame hit a military press drop. Paxley was overselling the pain, again part of the story. Dame locked in a Boston Crab and then switched it to a Lion Tamer. Izzy Dame was yelling at Tatum Paxley. Dame knocked Paxley down with a slap, and from that moment, a switch was flipped. Tatum Paxley hit a series of strikes, German suplex, jumping elbow. Dame hit a spinning neck breaker. Paxley hit a running cross body. Paxley hit an enziguri off the announce table, followed up with a German suplex on the outside. Great sequence. Dame was begging for mercy, but Paxley didn't buy into it this time. Paxley hit a spinning backbreaker on the announce table. Shawn Spears brought out the dolls. Again, the mind games. Spears ripped the head off one of the dolls. Tatum Paxley slapped him. Izzy Dame hits a big boot and a sit-out powerbomb for the win. Izzy Dame defeats Tatum Paxley. Paxley is holding the dolls at the end of the match. I thought this was a very good match. The storytelling in this match was great. This was a pretty good match in my opinion. Our main event, the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge. The winner of this match would become the #1 contender for the NXT Championship, receiving a championship match on the first episode of NXT of 2026. Leon Slater and Javon Evans started the match. Leon Slater is the TNA X Division champion. The order of entry was Miles Bourne, Dion Lennox, and Joe Hendry. Dion Lennox relinquished his half of the NXT Tag Team Championships to be in this match. He stated that he wants to focus on being a singles wrestler. Joe Hendry is now officially part of the WWE roster. Much like the Women's Iron Survivor match, this was a very good match in my opinion, and one of the two best matches of the night. Evans went for a cutter early, but Slater was able to avoid it. Slater hit a kick and a springboard elbow on Evans. Evans hit a Hurricane Rana on Slater for a 3 count. Miles Bourne hit an angle slam on Evans for 2. Slater hit a springboard crossbody on Evans for 2. Bourne took out Evans and Slater with a dive over the top. Evans was able to take out Bourne and Slater. Lennox hit a Northern Lights suplex on Bourne for 2. Doomsday Device by Bourne and Lennox on Slater. Lennox hit a Michinoku driver on Evans for a 3 count. Evans hit a springboard clothesline on Bourne, suicide dive on Slater, and frog splash on Bourne for 2. Hendry hit a follow-away slam on Evans and Slater. Hendry hit a dive taking out Evans, Slater, and Lennox. Hendry hit a fireman's carry slam on Bourne for a 3 count. Super kicks by Evans and and Slater on Hendry and Lennox. Evans and Slater then take each other out with kicks. Lennox kicked the door of the penalty box into Miles Bourne as he was exiting. Evans hit a swanton coast to coast on Hendry. Slater hit a coast to coast on Evans. Slater hit a swanton 450 on Hendry for a 3 count. Bourne hit Bourne again on Slater, got a 2 count. Bourne hit Bourne again on Lennox for a 3 count. Everyone is tied at 1. Lennox attacked Hendry inside the cage. Hendry then attacked Lennox. Great series of moves inside the ring. Hendry hit the standing ovation on Lennox. Evans climbed to the top of the cage and hit a dive off the cage on Lennox. Slater hit a dive over the post on Evans. Evans hit a super cutter on Slater. Bourne broke it up for a 2 count. We then get a chaotic series of moves in the final minute of this match, ending with Javon Evans rolling up Miles Bourne for a 3 count with seconds left on the clock. Javon Evans wins the Men's Iron Survivor for 2025, earning a championship match against Obafemi. After the match, there was a show of respect between everyone in the match except for Dion Lennox. Obafemi came out, stared down Javon Evans, and then the lights go out and Tony D'Angelo makes his return to NXT after 5 months. He hits a slam on Evans and he stares down Obafemi as the show goes off the air. Javon Evans cashed in his opportunity on the following episode of NXT instead of the first NXT of 2026, and Ricky Saints cost him the match. It looks like those two are feuding right now. Tony D'Angelo, not really sure how he fits into all of this, but in my opinion, Tony D'Angelo, Obafemi, and Ricky Saints are all ready for the main roster. I thought for sure Javon Evans was gonna be the NXT champion after winning this match, but I guess they're waiting. I think they're probably gonna have him become the NXT champion at Stand and Deliver. That being said, this was a very good match, one of the 2 best matches of the night, and overall I felt that NXT Deadline was a pretty good show, definitely better than Halloween Havoc and No Mercy. I really enjoyed NXT Deadline, and that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. You can follow me on Instagram at Said_2000, and I will see you on the next video. Till then, take care.